morgen reizenderij, efter at
Well, well. Welcome to the Too Late to podcast episode 14. Um, it's springtime. No, it's not springtime. It's fall, although not technically. But it's definitely the end of summer. It's the second week of September, the second week that my daughter's at school, and it's TIFF time in Toronto. I'm not attending TIFF this year, although I may go to a short film tomorrow night. I'm not attending TIFF because I'm just not, and I don't really want to talk. I don't usually attend that much if I don't have a film and don't have a pass. There have been years where they gave me a pass, even though I didn't have a film, and then I felt a responsibility to go to some press and industry screenings, which is kind of fun. But I don't mind that I'm not going, and I kind of don't want to go. And also, I've been busy with my daughter all weekend. I just read a bunch of reviews for films that sounded good. Um, a major emotion I experience around TIFF and things like that is jealousy. Because, in spite of the fact that I've had more modest success, even though my modest success is still greater than the success I thought I'd have for many years, even though I've had 3 films in TIFF and 2 of them won pretty big prizes. I guess I'm still jealous of the people making fiction, even though I'm scared. I'm scared to make fiction. I may never make any more fiction in my life. Last year, I attended a sort of welcome filmmakers dinner at TIFF, which they have a lot of. I was I was the oldest person there, and I think I was the only one there who made a documentary. And there were some people there that made their first fiction film, and I was jealous of them. I was jealous of all of them. I I actually hated them all. I couldn't enjoy the dinner because of my jealousy and my hatred is too strong a word. Sort of nothing against them. I just could feel the emotion, and the emotion was kind of seething anger, or I don't know what the right word is. I was jealous of them because they made fiction and I don't. And I want to make fiction. But there's so many reasons for me not to. And one of the biggest reasons is that I could make a bad film. I think that it may be just as hard to make a great documentary as to make a great fiction film, though I'm not sure that's true. I I I don't like when people say documentaries are easier, but there is a sense between you and me in which that's true. You have to be good to make a good documentary. You have to be good to make a great documentary. Um, but you don't have to be very good to make a mediocre documentary. And you don't have to be very good to make a bad documentary. And a bad documentary is not as bad as a bad fiction film. I think the 100 worst documentaries ever made are still kind of mediocre compared to the 100 worst fiction films ever made. The 100 worst fiction films ever made are like almost at the level of outsider art. They're like, you know, the I've never seen The Room, but the way they describe The Room, there probably aren't that many documentaries. It's not as noticeable when a documentary is horrible. Clearly, because I've seen some mediocre ones. I think that mediocre documentaries are also more consistently celebrated as great than mediocre fiction films, although I'm sure I could get some dispute on that. I think it's easier to make a documentary than to make a fiction film a little bit, and definitely easier for me. But the really only important thing to say is at this point in my life, I live in fear of making a bad film. And as long as I make documentaries, I feel like I'm protected against that. I have some tricks. I can rescue a documentary from being bad or even mediocre. I've made 9 feature length documentaries. I don't believe any of them are mediocre. I think all of them are at least good. Nothing to be ashamed of. I could easily make a fiction film, totally miscalculate, and be ashamed, not want to show my face, not want to have anybody see it. I say that because I did make one like that. I made one fiction film before I made documentaries. It's a whole story. It's not completely my fault, but it is in another way completely my fault because I chose that material. I chose material that was, very challenging, and I was not able to defeat the challenges of it. So I know what it's like to make a feature film and have people go, "Oh, yeah." I don't know what to say, dude. I don't know what to say about that film of yours.